Good morning, church. We are about halfway through the fast now, and it got me thinking about the book of the prophet Isaiah. And the reason why I think of Isaiah is because the first portion of the book is about the judgment of God's people. It's a little grim to read, and then you come to chapter 40, and chapter 40 it changes. It begins with comfort my people, and it's where we get the first depiction of the coming of Jesus Christ. And we see that fulfilled in the book of Luke, chapters 3, verse 4. When John the Baptist is coming down, he gets a word in the wilderness, and he says, "As it is written in the book of the words of Isaiah the prophet, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, and make his path straight." And that's good news. Good news for all of us, but it got me thinking about the wilderness. To me, the wilderness is what you see behind me. It's outside, it's beautiful, and it can be harsh at times, but the word wilderness is used somewhere around 290 something times in the Bible, and when you see that, you start to think of things, it's mentioned for a reason. And I looked into it a little bit more and realized, the wilderness there was the desert. It was hot, it was dry, it was not a friendly place to be. And that's where God came to encounter many of his people. It's where he first talked to Abraham and Moses and Isaiah. It's where he brought his people for 40 years. It's where Jesus went for 40 days. It was out in the wilderness. And, times were desperate where they had nothing else but God. And so I think of this fast and how we give things up and what that means in terms of being without, so that we have room for the Lord to make changes. And I look at what is written as John the Baptist came in to baptize, and he declares, "Make way." That's actually a historical premise. When kings would come into an area, a new land, there would be a courier that would go before them and make sure the roads were cleaned up and there weren't any obstacles or obstructions to stop him, and where it'd slow him down and make the cities, would have to look great. And that way there, when the king came, everything was prepared for him. And I feel like we're those people that the courier is talking to. This time right now that we're reflecting, we're fasting to get more of an experience with God right now. We also need to make sure that we're preparing the road for what God has planned for us. So I just encourage you all, for the second half of the fast to just make way, prepare the road, make his path straight, and see what the Lord has for you. Have a good one, church.